Guys, I experienced a very sad makeup loss today. While I was getting ready for the day, I had all of the products that I wanted to talk about today in like a little basket on my counter, and I put it in front of the sink. This was mistake number one. Why do I put things in front of the sink when clearly there's not enough counter space to hold everything? And number two is that I forgot it was there, and so I was doing my makeup and then all over the floor. Now everything else, fortunately, in that little bin is totally fine except for one of my favorite lipsticks. It's the Too Faced Melted Matte Lipstick, and it just hit the floor at just the precise angle, and so the floor won today. Floor one, lipstick zero. It looks okay like this, but then you'll notice that this isn't where the product comes out of. Oh, why am I such a klutz? Hello everyone, I'm here today to share with you guys another top 10 list, and this list is all around products from Sephora under $25. I had actually gotten this as a request from you guys because I had mentioned it sort of offhand in one of my other videos, kind of coming up with ideas for new video content, and a lot of you guys wanted to see this video, so here I am. So here are my top 10 Sephora products under $25. I will put both of the Canadian as well as the US pricing on the screen for you guys, and I will let all my Canadian girls know out there that there are 4 products that I'm talking about today that are a little bit over the $25 mark, but I have tried to keep everything as under or close to $25 as I possibly can for you girls out there that are from Canada like myself. But since most of you guys are American, I wanted to put that pricing on the screen for you guys as well. I wish I could put all of the pricing on the screen, but I feel like I'd never get this video up in time. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give it a big thumbs up and let me know what other top 10 lists you guys want to see next in the comment section below. I love reading all of your comments, so thank you if you do comment. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. And without further ado, let's get into this. And product number one that I want to talk about is actually the highlight that I'm wearing on my skin right now because I'm obsessed. I actually talked about this product recently in a 5 first impressions in a different color that I returned that color and got to the color that I'm talking about today, and I am in love with it. It is the Makeup Forever Starlit Powder, and this is in the shade number 13, which is the ivory shade on the website. And this stuff is insane. If you want a really blinding highlight, guys, this is gonna be your jam. It is this beautiful ivory champagne shade that when I swatched it on my hand looked very, very glittery when I was kind of shearing it out with my hand. I was like, oh, this is gonna look terrible. But then when you put it on the skin, I don't know what it is, but all of the glitteriness seems to sort of fade away. You can apply it on the lids, in the inner corner of the eye, you could apply it on the cupid's bow, wherever you want to have that extra like glamified glow to your skin. I was using it with a diffusing powder brush today to sort of give it more of a strong but not over the top kind of a highlight, and I think this is going to be perfect for spring and summer, and overall a definite must for me. Next up is a lip mask, and I talked about this as one of my top best of beauty for 2016, and it's by Laneige, and it's their lip sleeping mask, and this is one of, if not the best lip treatment for overnight that I have ever used, ever. Period, and done. It's so good. I feel like I've been using this forever and I still haven't hit the bottom of it yet. Like, you just get so much product for your money, and what I'll do is I'll put it on my lips before I go to bed, and if you experience really dry, cracked lips, I know I do, when you put it on your lips, it sort of like glosses over everything, and it like immediately adds some level of comfort to your lips, and it feels like it's doing something right away. Go to sleep, I wake up the next morning, it's gone. It's like it never happened. It says here on the package that's a lip sleeping mask that provides smooth, firm lips by gently melting away dead skin on the lips overnight. And it does just that. It is incredible, incredible product. I highly recommend it. Next up is an eyeliner that I am relatively new to, but it's something that I've been using every single time I've been wearing makeup, especially on the tight line. That's where I've been primarily using it, and I found it has worked really, really well. It is by Marc Jacobs, and it is their Highliner Matte Gel Crayon, and this is in the shade Earthquake. These retail for $31 Canadian or $25 US, and I find them to be incredible in terms of quality. For the tight line in particular, I've been using it just constantly. It is one of those shades that I find works really well for my paler skin. Next up is a Tarte palette. This is one of their travel size palettes, and it is the Tarte's Pro Glow to Go palette. First of all, it smells like chocolate. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. And second of all, it comes with some beautiful shade options, and I love that they're in these sort of like brick formats because I find them to be really, really easy to use with my existing brushes. It also has a mirror, which I'm trying to cover so I don't blind you with my light, which you don't realize is a thing you actually need until you realize that you have a palette that doesn't have one in it, and you're like, oh, this palette is useless. So I don't know if you guys can see that on my hand right there, but we have Gleam, Burst, and then Chisel. I find the highlights to be gorgeous. They're buildable. They aren't going to be one of those like gleaming, like the cover effects, like liquid highlight kind of blinding on the cheeks, but very, very pretty. I like both shades, surprisingly. I thought I was only going to really like the shell pink one because that tends to be the most flattering on my skin tone, but the light as sort of a golden shade is actually quite flattering as well. And then this contour shade, I was actually worried it was going to be too orange, too warm toned for my pale skin. It actually shows up really nicely on the skin. It's a lot more subtle. It's much easier to blend out, I find, and it doesn't show up as orange as I was anticipating, so that's really nice. And just overall, if you've ever been curious about the Tarte products, you've wanted to test them out, but you don't want to break the bank, this is a great way to go. Next up are two brow products I wanted to include for you guys, and I love them both, so I wanted to include both of them. One is under the $25 Canadian mark, and one is just a little bit over, but they're both under $25 US. So the first one I want to share with you guys, which is under the $25 Canadian mark, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pomade. And this is in the shade Taupe. That's the one that I use the most, is what I have on my brows right now. And I love this. First of all, you get a boatload of product. Like I feel like I'm, again, never gonna get to the bottom of this. I find that the shade is a really good match for me, but also the product itself is beautiful. I find that with a little tiny eyebrow brush, I can get those like perfect little brow hairs and it looks really natural. And just overall, there's a reason why this is so popular. It is a great, great product. However, I will say you need to make sure that this lid is screwed on properly. I lost one of my old ones because I had left the lid sort of like half off and dried up almost immediately. So keep that in mind. But overall, a fantastic brow product. And then the other one I wanted to mention is I think $32 Canadian, but it is $25 US, and it is the Benefit Cabral product. And the reason I wanted to mention this is, again, this is one of those pomade kind of products. I think they call it a cream gel brow. But the reason I wanted to include this is not only is the product itself really, really good, but the little brush that it comes with is fantastic. It is really small, it's easy to use, and it's built right into the product. So you kind of get the brush and the product all in one versus just the products. But both are great options depending on what your budget is, but I wanted to include both of them because I use them quite frequently. Now onto a product that I am sure there's a drugstore dupe for, and I just haven't been able to find one. And I don't know, maybe it's just I'm not looking in the right places, guys, but I wanted to include these because they are dirt cheap right now on the Sephora website. So if you want some, go and buy some. And they are these little Sephora, I think they call them the velour puffs or whatever. These things are so great. You get a set of 3, and right now they're on the website for $3, which is amazing. And I use these for all of my powder, whether it's a pressed powder or a loose powder. I just find that it kind of pushes all of the product into your skin so you get less of that cakey look to the skin. It is awesome, and it's small enough that it can fit really nicely under the eyes. You could probably use it for baking if that's something that you enjoy doing. And just, I love these things. They're super easy to clean. Again, you get 3 of them, so once it gets all like caked up like this, I'll toss it into my pile of brushes to be cleaned, and I will move on to the next one. But since they seem to be clearing these out, which is so disappointing because they're so awesome, I also wanted to include that they have bigger ones as well. There's a 2-pack, I think they're $13 Canadian, I want to say, but a similar product to these. They're just a little bit bigger. And yeah, I just think these are awesome, good price point, and something I use daily. Now onto the product I talked about at the beginning of this video. My poor, sad little Too Faced Melted Matte Liquid Lipstick. This is $25 Canadian. No, I mean, not the broken one, but you know, you'll get one that actually looks really nice. You know what? I don't want to hold this up. This is just sad. Let's hold up a different one. This is the one I'm wearing on my lips today. I love that it's not streaky when you're applying it. It is very concentrated, incredibly light. It feels like I have nothing on my lips right now. It is long wearing, definitely not transfer proof though, I will say that off the bat. But the color selection is great. This is one of my favorites, which is why I'm so sad that it broke. And this is in the shade Queen Bee. It is awesome, awesome shade. I highly recommend checking this one out. The one that I'm wearing today is in the shade It's Happening, which is another beautiful shade. I have a red one, I have a deep taupe one, like I have a ton of them and I think they are incredible in terms of formulation and a fairly reasonable price point for Sephora. Next up is another palette from Tarte. This is the Tarteist Pro To Go Tarte palette, and it's one of those, again, it's kind of small, fits in the palm of your hand kind of palettes, but look at these colors, guys. Like, can we just take a moment for these colors? But like, look at this shade. Like, how gorgeous is that? I need to swatch this. I need to move all these other swatches. Like, look at that. Boom. But even this shade up here, a gorgeous transition shade, very buttery and smooth and easy to apply. I don't even know if you can see it on there, but it is a really nice transition shade for me in the crease. So I'll use something like this, put that to kind of deepen it, add that for like a pop on the lid, and I'm done, and it's gorgeous and really easy. This is a great collection. They did a fantastic job with the formulation. To me, it is totally worth it if you're looking to explore a Tarte product but not shell out, you know, $65-$70 for a palette, but still get some shades that you are going to get a lot of use out of. This is a beautiful starting point and something that I really recommend. And lastly is a beauty tool. I talked about this in my what would I buy with a $100 gift card to Sephora video. I will link that in the cards in case you guys are interested, but it is the Shiseido eyelash curler. I've used a ton of different eyelash curlers from drugstore to high-end and everywhere in between because my eyelashes are like very straight and they point down, which is not the look I'm going for. This one is really good because it gets right to the edge. It doesn't pinch. You have to like obviously be careful. It's an eyelash curler. It's close to your eyeballs, but it gives a really nice lift to the lashes as well as a curl, and it's precise enough that I can just curl sort of the base, which gives it nice lift, but it also allows the lashes to be still stick straight at the top, so it makes them look longer, you know what I mean? Like, it's just very precise like that. It is one of my absolute favorite beauty tools and one that I continually go back to and have been for years. And that's everything for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you found it helpful. If you have any other top 10 or worst 10 lists that you guys want me to do next, leave them in the comment section below. And if you see any ideas or suggestions down below that you guys want to see, don't forget to give that comment a big thumbs up so I know that you guys want to see those ones in particular. I hope you're all having a wonderful week so far, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you girls. Mwah.